Okay, this is grade B stroke grade A circle properties or angle properties of circles. Looking at page 167 onwards, 11.1, the higher course only. This is the first 6 questions taken across the top of the page of 167, so please ignore A, B, C, D. It goes A, B, F, G, K, L on this occasion. Doesn't matter. Now, I trust you looked at the rules before you've come to this video. If not, I'll try and describe them as we do it. Essentially, I've got to work out the missing angles. And so for the first one then, I've got a chord from here to here, which I won't draw in. And the rule is that the angle at the centre of the circle, because O stands for the centre of the circle, is twice the angle made at the circumference. So if the angle at the circumference is 50 degrees, then the angle at the centre will be twice as big. Therefore we have 100 degrees. That's that one. We'll do B. Very straightforward. If we're passing through the centre of the circle 0, or O rather, then we have a diameter. And the rule is the angle at the circumference that's drawn from the diameter is always going to be a right angle. So B is 90 degrees. Now we're missing out C, D, E probably for either a later video, or we'll just turn over the other page and we'll find them. So let's go to a more difficult one. This is F. We see a common chord here across there, and we see from this chord we have an angle of 42 at the circumference, and the rule is any angle coming from the same chord touching the circumference in the same segment of the circle. So here we have this segment here, and we have this larger segment here. They're different segments, so we have two angles coming from the same chord in the same segment of the circle touching the circumference will be the same. Therefore F is the same as 42. There is 42 degrees. We have another diameter one, which is really useful. Now you may recall that this is 90 degrees from question B opposite there, so I'll put in a 90 there as well, and therefore G is going to be 180, take away the 90 and take away the 32, and that will give us 90 take away 32, which is 58 degrees. So G is 58 degrees. Hope I've got that correct there. Goody goody. Let's do this one here. This is again another one going through the diameter, going through the centre, therefore it's a diameter. I've got to work out obviously the value of K. So I know that's 90 degrees, and we can make up a very simple equation here. We've got 4K plus 1K, so we've got 5Ks plus the 90 degrees comes to 180. Straightforward equation. So 5Ks are 90. So K is going to be 90 over 5. And I'm allowed to use a calculator, so I'm going to jolly well use it. 90 over 5 gives me 18 degrees each. So K is 18 degrees. If you want to multiply by 4 to get this one as well, 4 18s, just do that quickly, gives me 72. So we have a 90, a 72 and an 18. Let's just put that in different colour. So that's 18 degrees, and that's going to be 72 degrees. Alright, let's just do L now. Back to black. What have we got? Just study this carefully. I've got a diameter. I've got 40 degrees, which means that and that is the same because they're both radii, and incidentally this will be the same as that one because again they're radii. Well, if that's 40, then I think here we have an angle of 40 as well. It's an isosceles triangle. Now that being the case, I also know that because I have a diameter here, the angle at the circumference, make it a little bit better, the angle at the circumference will also be 90 degrees. Therefore M is going to be 90 degrees, which is all of this part here, take away the 40, which comes to 50 degrees. Okay then, so M is 50 degrees. So if M is 50 degrees, that means the other part of the triangle here, this angle shown, is also 50 degrees because it's an isosceles triangle. So L is going to be 180 take away the two 50s, which is 100 degrees. Therefore L is going to be 80 degrees. Is that alright? Bit trickier that one, because don't forget we've gone from it's easier questions quite quickly to the harder questions. So that's some of question 1 done. I'm trying to do the rest of question 1, and look, there's 9 trapped here. And so here we go. Here's just C, D, E, some of the easier ones. I'll try and speed up a little bit because I'm going to run out of time. Right, if you would imagine therefore there's a chord coming across here, and there is a chord across here, I've just drawn it, and the angles in the same segments coming from the same chord touching the circumference are identical. Therefore, if that's 50, then C is also 50 degrees. Over to D. It's a lovely question, this. Right, if that's 250 over there, then the obtuse angle inside there will be 360, take away 250. I'll get that quickly for you. That comes to 110 degrees. Now, applying this rule, the angle at the circumference, and I've just created one, will be half the size of the angle at the centre. Therefore, this will be 55 degrees. Okay, so I've got the 55, which is half the size of the 110, because it's coming off this chord. I don't want to draw it in there just to confuse life. It's running across there a chord which I could draw in, but I will not. So we're coming from the same chord, angle at the centre, in the same segment of the circle, is twice the size of the angle at the circumference. But look, we've now created a cyclic quadrilateral. There it is, just outlining it there with my pen. Therefore, you should recall that the angles opposite to each other in the cyclic quadrilateral add up to 180 degrees. They are supplementary. So D is going to be 180. Take away the 55 we've just calculated. That will give us 125 degrees. Alright, so D is 125. Again, E is very straightforward, a cyclic quadrilateral. Opposite angles add up to 180. So E is going to be 180. Take away the 88. And quickly calculator. That comes to 92 degrees. So E is 92 degrees. Over to H. This is very, very, very badly drawn. We have an angle. Let me just draw the chord in. Look, you'll see it better then. If I draw this chord in from there to there, we have an angle at the circumference, and we have an angle in the same segment touching, sorry, an angle at the centre and an angle touching the circumference coming from the same chord. Now, that means H has got to be twice the size of 56, because the angle at the centre is twice as big as the angle made at the circumference. So H is going to be 2 lots of 56, and that comes to 112 degrees. Easy peasy. I'm going to pause now because the video could be getting a little bit long.